boy, do we have a lot to talk about on this week's Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia. Yeah. The guys are here. We have an exclusive interview with NASCAR Cup Series driver William Bryon.
It's a big one. We've been waiting on this for a while. The weather kept delaying it.
I go away for maternity leave, and he just lines up these guests that are just
star after star after
top notch.
Yeah, we've taken this show up a level or two, I think.
Yeah, and Joe Yock wasn't there for this interview.
That was the biggest disappointment.
And I am the biggest NASCAR fan here.
I know.
The biggest NASCAR fan here.
William,
I got to revolve my life around William Byron's schedule.
William was like, and that's
Byron,
what he
get
said.
Your act together.
He said, "Is Joe here?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, no." And he's like, "Oh, I was really hoping, get to talk with Joe." And I was like, "Well, sorry, he's a busy guy. There's a lot going on, so just didn't work."
Did you say anything to him about me being shirtless in the pits? No.
No.
I was shirtless in William Byron's.
It might be best that the schedules didn't line up. Now, in retrospect, we might have dodged a major bullet.
I would have added so much spice to that interview.
Yes. No, I have no doubt about that.
What it needed.
I legitimately have a picture of me shirtless in William Byron. You've seen it. Under the 24.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But he was wanting to recreate that picture here on set with William Bryon, so it's probably for the best.
Hey, remember that OrthoVirginia is one of the leading providers of physical therapy, occupational therapy, and hand therapy in Virginia. You can schedule an appointment at OrthoVirginia.com. It's not even 3 minutes into this podcast. We're already off the rails. But like I said, we have a lot to talk about. All the new transfers that Liberty added 28 new transfers to the football team, so we'll cover that a little bit. Wow, basketball. Really flirting at the end there, making my heart rate soar. But history made with Zach Cleveland's triple-double. We'll talk a little bit about what kind of history. I don't know if Matt has any numbers that matter with that.
I might have a few up my sleeve.
I had a feeling. So we'll discuss that as well. Hit a little women with basketball and not hit a little women. I guess we shouldn't say it that way.
Hit any small.
We'll
discuss
the women's side with softball, not a great start, and basketball as well. But first, let's talk about men's basketball. And,
you're not saying Super Bowl.
Demario Douglas. Sorry.
It was a big game.
Super Bowl. It was a big game, but
wasn't a great game.
Wasn't a great game.
It was
not a great game.
Not a great game. Demario Douglas had 5 receptions for 45 yards.
That's solid.
Yeah.
So that is the best that a Flame has ever done.
I mean, with his first reception, he set the record for most yards in a Super Bowl for a receiver in Flames history.
Really?
Yeah, because it was 4 yards before that. Dwayne Carpenter, 1 reception, 4 yards.
I thought Eric Green played in the Super Bowl.
Nope, didn't.
He didn't.
And so 5 receptions. He had tied for the most receptions for the Patriots, second most targets. I think it was 7 or 8 targets. Mm-hmm. He was involved, and I mean, with that limp noodle arm of Drake May, that was his good little option there, just flipping that thing, underneath. But that,
really
tough
disappointing.
Tough game. Happy for Demario though that he got, and honestly, I think it may have been his last reception. He made a guy miss, and it was just your classic to just slam on the brakes, a little jump back, the guy goes flying by. Like, he's so fun to watch with the ball in his hands, but happy that he got a chance to shine on that kind of stage.
If you missed our conversation with Pop, take a look at that on Flame Central or the Liberty Flames, social media pages, Twitter. It's on football and all that. Really good to catch up with him, and he was just so proud to represent Liberty. All the media were asking him, like, hey, you're coming from such a small school, and he was just repping Liberty. So I love that.
Seems like the same guy that we always had here. You know what I mean?
100%.
Like, just as Demario as ever.
Yeah.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
But I had my
Yeah.
Patriots jersey ready to go to wear this morning.
I bet you did.
And I just put that right back in the closet.
You know what surprised me?
What's that?
That Drake May publicly said, they shot my shoulder up before the game. I was like, really? I didn't know they do much of that anymore.
Yeah.
That's like the old 70s kind of stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
The doc's got a cigarette in his mouth and he's shooting for the Pittsburgh Steelers back in the day. Hey, shoot him up, Doc, let's go.
Yeah.
And he was like, I really didn't feel my shoulder. I just had it shot up before the game. Whoa, that dude's worth $150 million. That's a risky, but I guess it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I guess it's the Super Bowl.
And it was, it wasn't all line. He didn't play well, but the line was awful.
The
Seahawks defense is legit as well.
Those two, the left guard and the left tackle.
Yeah.
What did Coach Quinn?
Yeah.
The fish?
Yeah.
You found the fish. Yeah. You got to find the fish.
You got to find the fish.
Coach Quinn for Liberty had him on. He said, you got to find the fish.
They found him.
They found the fish.
They had ocean's worth on that.
They were hammering that side.
Yeah.
All right, so happy for Demario, but we'll see.
Listen, the next thing now, like we're getting ready. I know we have a little bit of time here before free agency and stuff starts, but so the next thing in terms of Liberty football in the pros, like Malik Willis is the next thing up.
That's
that's going to be fun to watch over the next month and a half or whatever,
and
see what some of the
Get
buzz
Malik
is around
on
him.
the show.
I've been trying.
Malik's a pretty private guy. He's not the easiest to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't. Maybe we can stalk him a little bit more once he lands
Stalking's
somewhere.
always a good word to use
Yeah.
for a private guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a private guy.
Yeah.
You
Maybe
gotta
we
get-
could stalk
Maybe
him.
get
You got to get those exclusive interviews for the
Yeah.
Flame Center podcast presented by OrthoVirginia. I'm doing the best that I can. Joe, I'm sure you have some stories. If you have any stories that you want to share with us, you can do so on flamecentral@liberty.edu.
We are sending mugs out left and right,
right.
like
Boom,
going like hotcakes.
Boom.
It's
boom.
like the Waffle House Sunday after
Yep.
church. around
Sending
here.
them out because we've got a great
boom,
mailbag
boom.
for later as well.
Yeah, our guest for today, William Bryon, he even used one of our mugs. So
Even
you'll
used
see
it.
that
He did.
in just a moment. But now that we've covered Demario Douglas, now we can talk about Liberty men's basketball. They
There it
are
is.
tied for the longest winning streak in program history with 14 straight victories. That's the fourth longest in the nation at the moment.
Got
So-
to 20 wins.
What?
They had 20 wins.
Win number 20 already, which is crazy. And then history made with Zach Cleveland finally getting that triple-double. I
flirted.
texted Matt. I'm like, make sure nobody like grabs that rebound. But then they weren't missing.
Yeah.
Missouri State. So I was like, man, I definitely want Zach Cleveland to get the triple-double, but it's more important that we get the win. This is getting way too close for comfort.
Yeah, first triple-double since Jesse Sanders in 2012.
Attaboy, Jesse.
Jesse got a lot of love on the CBS broadcast Saturday.
So much
They
love.
talked about how he was the first guy to ever have a triple-double in 4 straight seasons, which he did. And then
Jesse's a
they mentioned that early on, and then later Zach obviously got the triple-double first since Jesse, more than 10 years ago. So, yeah, really cool to see him finally get that. This game, though, and what was the, church Sunday morning, everybody comes up and it's all the same. It's, boy, they got to stop doing that.
I
Like,
know.
they got to stop doing that. Like, they're flirting with disaster. And they did. I mean, they were up 20 early in the second half, nearly blew it. I think it was one made shot from the field in the last 12 minutes. for
Gosh,
Liberty.
it was
Ouch.
rough.
But neither team shot well at the free throw line. They were both brutal at the line. It's funny. So, like, Richie afterwards, you wonder where he's going to go. He always kind of zigs a little bit when you think he's going to zag. And so he
tell me
you
about
know that?
that.
You know
Tell
that,
me,
Em?
please,
Yeah.
explain that.
So he kind of downplayed a little bit as to, like, hey, it's just the ebbs and flows of a game. Missouri State's really good. They are a really good team, I think. But he kind of like, that's just the way it goes. I think that can be true, and there's some of that certainly. I mean, Liberty went on, I think it was a 16-0 run early in the second half. So, like that, you're not going to do that forever.
Right.
But at the same time, if you go on a run like that, you don't have to keep stacking those runs on top of each other. If you just maintain the rest of the way,
Right.
you're fine. I do think there's a little bit of like the human nature in you. Like when you go on a run like that, it's hard to keep your foot on the gas. It is. It's human nature. And also, I think this team is, not that they get bored, but they start looking for more creative ways or, here, maybe a little behind the back. Oh, let's try the lob
They
at
get
the
a little
rim. Like,
fancy.
they start
They get a
trying to
little
see, like,
fancy.
wow, let's do something a little bit more fun here. And so sometimes a couple of those things snowball, and then, maybe you come up empty on 3 straight possessions and you let a team start kind of creeping back in. So I think there is a little bit of that. But boy,
Which
all it takes
McKay,
is one
if
time
McKay
where
hears you say that, he is not going to like that at all.
Well, I mean, all it takes, and we all know it, and that's why it's so important, is like, all it takes is one time in Huntsville of where you you let somebody back in and you aren't able to pull out, and that's it.
And I do feel like on a positive note, this team, they know how to pull it together and pull
Absolutely.
out the victory at the very end.
That's the reason
But-
they haven't blown one of these.
Right.
Poise, experience, they know how to win.
It's almost like they look at each other with like 2 minutes to go, and they're like, all right, we got to stop messing around.
And I
Like
think-
we got to pull it back together and close out this game.
And I think, too, as the stakes get higher,
that
you're going to see less and less further in the season, getting into the tournament. Like, they're going to dial in the mental aspect of it, where it's like, if we get this run, like, we're not playing around.
Yeah.
We got to bear it. So is it this time of the season, we're in early February,
Sure.
right, and you're on this big win streak and you're up 20 and, like, other things you're saying, like, oh, yeah, it's perfectly natural. Like, you don't like it, but it's natural. But now get into March, get into late February, get into March, get into tournament time, and I got a feeling that it's going to be like you potentially may see those 10, 15-point leads, instead of going down to 3, go up to 20.
Yeah.
I got a feeling that's the heartbeat of this team.
Here's
when
I got
it really
a question
counts.
for you. I got a question for you, Joe. You're a radio basketball analyst. You just did it this past week.
I just did it,
so,
yes.
So
I was pumping my own tires before the broadcast.
People say, and this is, you always see this, where teams are on a long win streak, and people will say, like, boy, they better lose one before the tournament. I think that'd be good for them to lose one before.
That sounds like something I would say.
That is sound like something you would say. Do you think that's legit? Like, is that legit in terms of, like, does a team sometimes need that to just, like, okay, the pressure's off of this losing streak. Like, you don't have to worry about that anymore. You just worry about in front of you? Or is that, do you think as a player, coach, that kind of stuff is overstated and it's not that important?
I think the only time that comes into play is when you're undefeated.
Like, completely
like
undefeated.
Completely undefeated. Like
Yeah.
I don't care how good you are, right, how mentally tough you are. If you have the pressure of, like, an undefeated season on the line, then it becomes like you will subtly feel that.
Yeah.
When you've lost a few games, you may be undefeated in conference, but you're on a long win streak. If I'm a coach, I'm always preaching the standard's the standard.
Right.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter what we're not playing to be undefeated season, be this. We're playing to the standard, and that's all you play to. End of conversation. And you see that team like Liberty, who has, like, that's easier to say when you have maybe a little bit inexperienced team or maybe a little bit undisciplined team, but you have such an experienced team at Liberty that I think that's something that they would embrace, right? Like, it doesn't really matter. We won 15 in a row, 18 in a row, whatever it is. Now it's getting down to crunch time. We play the standard. The standard is standard. End of conversation. Go out and play basketball. And I think that it wouldn't affect them whatsoever.
I still think it would help. There is lessons in losing. No, seriously. I agree with you with the undefeated thing, because there is a lot more pressure on, like, an undefeated season.
Sure, and that's like history.
But especially in basketball, it's so much harder. Well, I don't know. Maybe it's not much harder.
But I mean, undefeated season in conference.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many times has that been done? A conference there's a number that matters.
Yeah.
That number can matter next week. But I just feel like, I don't know. I just think it might help to get that streak out of the way before we go into conference play. I don't know.
Yeah, you go tell Richie. I want you to lose.
I'm not telling Richie that.
It is. I do have a couple numbers, though, that do matter. But
it's a number, and it matters.
That's good. That's good.
Wait, I don't think that's how you wanted
we
it
need
to
to go
sound.
review the tape.
You said the
Joe's
guy.
a little under the weather. Cut him some slack.
The Pizza Hut delivery guy, or what was he a delivery? Oh, Chili's. Joe sent
Baby
us
back
some
ribs.
ring guy that was sliding in on the ice.
Yeah, I had
Joe
a
sends us some good videos
and
from
that guy sounded like a number that matters. Okay, go ahead, Matt.
All right. This is not the number that matters. It is a number that matters. It's just an update to a number that mattered last week.
Okay.
Only 4 teams now in the country unbeaten in conference play.
Wow.
Liberty, see, because Duke went down. I don't know if you saw that. Duke lost.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that.
That one really hurt.
Liberty, Arizona, St. Louis, Miami of Ohio. Those are the only 4 teams that have not lost in conference play. So select company there for the Flames as that gets whittled down. I will give you, though, here is my number that matters. My number that matters is 15, and I'm going to share this because I actually gave this stat to the play-by-play guy for CBS during the game.
You're so sweet.
I feel like I can claim this one as my own number that matters because I gave him this information. 15. 15 times Liberty has gone on a 10-0 run or better this season. That is tied for most in Conference USA, tied with Missouri State. They have both done it. So there's this. I'm a little bit of a numbers guy. I like the numbers, right?
Numbers matter.
There's this website. It's called evanmia.com. He's like this numbers guru. I like it because it's mostly free and I'm cheap. So that's the main reason I utilize it. But
I'm so glad you're finally admitting this,
yes,
Matt.
he calls a 10-0 run a kill shot. That's what he calls it.
Okay.
And so the numbers the way he's put it together is a team with at least one kill shot, with a kill shot in a game, wins 71% of the time. So if you go on a 10-0 run, you win 71% of the time. A 15-0 run, 88% of the time. And Liberty had a 16-0 run in that game. So Liberty leading the conference, are tied for first in those 10-0 runs and kill shots throughout a season. And then they've only given up like 9. Like Missouri State has 15. I think they've given up 14. So like that disparity is important as well.
Right.
So Liberty, when you talk about teams that can just cook for 2-3 minutes, like Liberty in this league is at the top of the list in terms
and it
of
can
that.
happen so fast.
And it can happen
I feel like Liberty, it's just like you blink. And,
that's the way this game was. That you
right.
start the second half, it's like tight ball game. They're right in it, and it's just like bang, 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 and it's like, whoa, it's 20.
Are you going to share that number that matters with Coach McKay and just be like, hey,
could.
you really just have to coach in a way
Coach, why don't
that
you
we got to do more
10-0
kill
runs?
shots?
Yeah, just get more 10-0 runs.
Just that
Maybe
easy.
he hasn't thought about that.
Maybe he hasn't.
I'll bring that up to him.
I mean, that's a really good stat.
That's a cool stat.
It is interesting. Yeah, I like that number.
71%.
And then one more note. If Missouri State was better at the free throw line, this would have been a very different game. And maybe, it's hard to like say that because then if they were better at the line,
too,
maybe
compared to what we've been.
Right, but maybe we would have responded earlier. Not, if they did.
They were 14 of 26.
Yeah.
And their power forward, who's just an absolute tank.
How do you say?
Michael Osei-Bonsu was 4 of 12. I'll say this though, this Missouri State team very, very physical.
Very.
They're the kind of team where it seems like every year in the conference tournament, Naz and I always kind of go, man, like they are officiating these games differently. Like the officials kind of just put the whistle away, and it's like you boys figure it out. And if this is the kind of team in that setting, if they're just going to let you play and let you bang and let you they're going to be.
Are you a fan of that?
To a point. I mean, to a point. I'd prefer it to be consistent, like what it's been throughout the year. You don't want the officials just taking the game over. But, I do think it's difficult if you're a team like Liberty, for instance, which, they're not big. They want to play their style. If you change the way you officiate and you're letting them get mugged, that definitely changes, how these games go.
Another interesting point from this game that if it would have went the other way and not Liberty's way, it didn't look like that foul was on Colin Porter. Like at the end,
so I'm glad you brought that up.
He missed him.
Our buddy, Mark Mad Dog Murdoch, sent in a mailbag question.
Okay.
So they're trying to foul Colin Porter at the end, 10 seconds left. He gives them the Demario Douglas. Whoop!
Yeah.
Missed him.
Swipe.
But they blew the whistle. If they didn't, because the defender's missing, he probably burns another 6-8 seconds, maybe the rest of the clock.
Yeah.
As it is, he's got to go to the line, make free throws. But Mark Mad Dog Murdoch said that just shows how knowledgeable the Liberty fan base was, that they lost it booing these officials when they called a foul that did not appear to be.
Colin Porter's face was so funny. He was just like,
Yeah, he thought he shook him. And he did. But,
All right, we'll get more to those mailbag questions in just a moment. On the women's side, they won on Thursday at Jack State and then dropped a game at Kennesaw State on Saturday. They will be home to host UTEP on Thursday the 12th, so be out there to support the Lady Flames, really hoping.
And Avery Mills got hurt at the end of that Jack State game. She had, 27 in that game, hurt her ankle, missed Kennesaw. Not sure what her status is, but obviously they need her in the worst way. Yeah, absolutely. So hopefully she can be back.
Hopefully she can be back.
Huge loss.
We'll also talk about these additions to the football team as well as some softball.
We can talk a little
updates.
NASCAR.
But let's first talk a little NASCAR. The camera needs to be on me, Matt, to introduce our next
you're
guest,
always telling me.
which is William Bryon. Let's hear it. We have some pretty exclusive interviews on the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia, but today it's no different. William Byron is in the house, NASCAR Cup Series driver. Wow, thanks for giving us some time to stop by.
Oh, it's great to be here. I feel honored. It's awesome.
I feel like
obviously you don't know the show very well. If you're feeling honored to be with us,
I feel like the Flame Center podcast just took it to the next level having you on. So thanks for your time.
Yeah.
Back at Liberty, how does it feel to still be representing Liberty?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's great. I mean, we're excited about this year. We had a really good season last year, and just was cool. We had Liberty on the car when we won the regular season championship, so that was really, really neat. And they've been a big part of my career for a long time, so it's kind of nice to continue. And just looking forward to, I think their first race is Watkins Glen, so excited about that.
Awesome.
Now, I looked back today. The first time we ever did something with you, we shot a video with you in 2014.
Yeah.
A lot has changed since that point, obviously.
Yeah.
Where do you feel like maybe you've grown the most in your career, whether that's on the track or maybe it's just in knowledge of the sport? Like, where have you grown the most over that stretch?
Oh, I mean, it's just everything. I mean, just kind of, I don't know where to start, but on the track, I think just knowledge of racing. I mean, I was really young and new and just green in the sense of my racing background at the time, and then I think just getting out on my own and just traveling, and had a lot of off the track, just being able to grow up as a person and really experience a lot of different things, and you kind of learn how to deal with success and failure at the same time. Just deal with the things that kind of don't go your way in your career, and just I feel like the thing that keeps me coming back is my love for the sport and my love for I feel like it was my calling to race, and that's kind of what I just continue to try to live out, is just continue to work hard because I've been given a great opportunity.
When you've gotten so good at this at such a young age, who do you lean on when you're going through those struggles and in that growth process? Who did you lean on?
Yeah, I feel like I have a lot of great mentors just from the get-go. Like Dennis Lambert was my Legends car crew chief, and we actually took a trip this year. He had never been to Europe, so we went to
going across the pond.
We went to London, and we were biking around in London, and he loved it. But so he's been a big one. I feel like we check in on each other every now and then, and really my dad, he's always been a great mentor for me. Really, and just in terms of like making good decisions off the track, and my parents both. So my mom's been a great help for me for years. I mean, she's been through a lot herself, and then I would say, I keep a close relationship with my crew chief, Rudy. So kind of talk to him. I'm always in his ear. He's always in mine. So, and then when it comes to like decisions on the track, I really feel like it's all about self-reflection and just learning from experiences, and like owning those experiences, owning, when you make a mistake. And that's, I think as I get older, just being comfortable with making mistakes and just being under the microscope, I guess, and just not worrying about, what other people are thinking about, and just thinking about how do I get better at what I'm trying to do.
You're going to have me jump ahead to a question I was going to ask you. You mentioned going to Europe. Like at this stage, I mean, you're at the peak of your sport, right? You've probably gotten to do so many incredible things, go so many incredible places. What's like the one thing or two things you're like, I still want to do that? I haven't gotten the opportunity yet to go do this.
It changes every year.
Yeah?
It changes, but yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing for me is continuing to travel throughout the season, because we travel to the race, but then you're there to work and do your job.
You're not sightseeing
exactly.
and all that stuff.
You're not riding bikes around London.
Yeah. So exactly. So it's like trying to mix in some cool experiences and just get to know the towns a little bit better. And lots of concerts I want to go to. That was a big thing last year, but I don't know yet. I really want to go to Africa at some point and really see that continent. I haven't been there. So I think that and Antarctica looked pretty cool.
Whoa,
Oh, but you have to go. You have to go. What's the pass or whatever that's like super choppy? That it's like the cruise that you have to take to get to
Antarctica.
It is like it's pretty brutal. So you might want to think that one through. Just kind of Google a little bit about it, or take plenty of drama.
Do they have good bike tours in the end? I don't know.
No, you just like chill with the penguins.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, the penguins for sure.
No, my friend has done it, but like when you look at the videos of this part of the ocean, I don't know what it's called. I mean, your ship is like this, like the whole time, and I just. I'm not talking to you.
I always
out
like
of
Deadliest Catch, so
there you go.
Then
you would like that.
I would like to be on that, but
I have a serious question, and it might sound stupid, but when you're driving in circles so many times, I'm sure you get this question a lot. Like I know you're talking to Rudy, like you said, you're always in his ear, right? But what are you thinking about? Like, is you get bored? Be honest.
No, you never get bored. It's such a fine. It's really hard to explain like the car is always on the edge of control, so you're always doing something a little different, even though you're going, in a circle, like you said. Every corner is different, so it's like it's a rhythm, though. It is a rhythm. Like you're doing something similar every lap, so it's you try to get repeatable, but at the same time you have to adapt really well. So you're always kind of doing something different. But the most boring thing we do, though, is like going to a test session and running lap after lap around the same. Yeah. Because it doesn't change a lot then. So, and they want you to be consistent for the data. So that's probably the most boring aspect.
So I asked this, and I don't know why, like as you're answering it, I'm like, well, I'm a tracker, and I ran track.
Okay.
So people always ask, like, don't you get bored just running in circles? And I ran distance, so you're running in circles a very long time, which like kind of leads me to my next question, because, the tracks all being different. Do you prefer like tracks with longer straightaways, because indoor track and outdoor track, obviously it's a 200 inside, it's a 400 outside for the lap. I prefer outdoor track because I like the longer straightaways. It's I don't like the bent sides.
Like the race you just ran Wednesday, it was like, I was
Very
almost getting
small
dizzy
track.
watching
Yeah.
it because it was so tight.
What do you prefer?
It's kind of whatever I'm good at that year, so.
And you feel like that changes?
It changes, yeah.
Oh,
it depends on
wow.
the car. So, last year we actually got really good at the short tracks. So I really liked the short tracks because we started to get really competitive, and it was like, when we showed up at those, typically it went well. So I don't know, it kind of changes every year as much as that is kind of crazy. But I think last year we started the year really good at the bigger tracks, like the 1.5 mile tracks. So Darlington, Charlotte, we were really good at Michigan. So those were fun. It just kind of depends where the car is feeling the best.
Is some of that, I think to other sports, is some of that, obviously a lot of it's the car, is some of it mental in terms of some tracks? Like baseball, some guys just own another guy, and after they've had a little bit of success, they just think they own him, and so they always hit him well.
Yeah,
if it's like, I had some success here, I just always think I'm going to have success here.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like our sport, it takes one good run, or it takes like one good thing where you're like, okay, now I understand this track. I know what it takes at this track. So, yeah, the experienced guys have a big leg up because they've been there and they've experienced it. And so, yeah, I feel like I've gotten to be really competitive at 1.5 mile tracks because I just have a good feel for it. And I would say like Charlotte, we led a lot, Darlington. So there's some tracks that I feel like I can make a difference. And there's other tracks that I'm kind of leaning on the team. I'm like, I don't know if I'm as good here. And so I lean on them. Like New Hampshire was always that way for us. And we brought a great car this past year and we were fast. So, it's a little bit different every year. Yeah.
You think about, you talk about, dialing in your car and working with your team. In other sports, so much is scouting the opponent. How much of that is involved in what you're doing, knowing other people's tendencies, or is that not as big of a deal?
Oh, it is, yeah. You kind of learn how people race. So you have tendencies of how they make decisions, and then sometimes you're looking at other people to like learn something about them, how good they are in a certain track. Yeah. That's
interesting.
Sure.
So will you watch film back, not just to see like what you did, but see like, okay, in these situations, this is what he likes to do?
Yeah, for sure. Like, and even if they're good at a certain track, you look at them and you're like, okay, they're really fast at this track, and so I'm going to try to emulate their style because we have all the data now.
Right,
so
that's true.
We get to like look at how everyone drives, which is kind of a cheat. So it's interesting. People have different opinions on that. Sometimes when I'm competitive, I'm like, man, I really don't want people to know that. But I've always been tabbed as like the data guy. So it's funny. I don't look at data as much as I used to, but I still use it for kind of a reference.
Yeah.
So Daytona 500 coming up on Sunday, February 15th. You're only the 5th driver to win that back-to-back. No one has done it 3 years in a row. Is that going to happen this year? A. B, what is it about that race that suits you so well?
I hope so, yeah. I mean, like I've been telling everybody, it's just you got to be there at the end of the race. And so it's just we got to have a good week of preparation and get to the end, and hopefully it lines up for us. But, yeah, it's I think what's worked out for us is we're always good at those tracks. We're always competitive. We weren't getting the finishes we deserved, I felt like, and then some things started to go our way the last couple of years. So, yeah, it's just kind of lined up that way. I wouldn't say that Daytona's my favorite or best track, but
it could be here in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
If we win 3, I think it's safe to say that's a good one. But it's
I would think so.
But it's been fun, and I mean that. Honestly, what that race has done for me personally is kind of incredible. I mean, just the things I've been able to be a part of, and people introduce you as that. So it's really special when you win that race. It's you don't really understand the meaning of it until you do. So it's cool.
Obviously, we've been talking a lot about Super Bowl this week. Carolina Panthers.
Yeah.
In our lifetime, are you confident?
Nah.
Well, okay.
Come on,
what's the
Absolutely.
timeline?
From the Kansas City
Right.
Chiefs.
I've gotten more
I
than
can see
I
that.
ever
I
expected.
mean,
So yeah,
I
I'm
can see
good.
that.
Do you think in the next few are they getting there? Are you encouraged?
I mean,
I know
I
you're a
was
big
impressed
fan.
this year.
I was having major FOMO this in January because they made the playoffs and they played that game against the Rams, and I didn't go to the game because I was out west, but man, I was like
They were
having
right
FOMO.
there.
They were playing so well.
Yeah.
So energy is definitely back. I would like to see them. They're starting to bring back some of the traditions. I like to see them lean into the traditional look more, but it's exciting.
Yeah.
And then you're a golf guy, right? You like
Love
some
golf.
Okay.
Love
Is
golf.
that the sport you would say you would want to go pro in if you weren't a driver?
Oh, it's interesting. I don't know. I need the adrenaline from racing, but golf.
I don't think you're.
Yeah,
you're
that
not
just balances you out.
Golf does balance me out, and it's weird. Like there's something with like hitting a perfect shot or hitting like the center of the face. Like there's something there that gives me the same adrenaline that racing does. So it definitely is up there for me. But if I didn't have racing, I don't know if I'd love golf as much as I do, because it is like a contrast thing for me.
I've heard that about the perfect shot. I haven't gotten to experience that yet. But
what is William Byron's favorite club in his bag?
What is that?
A driver.
Yeah, there it is. That's a good one.
I just came up with that. So.
Yeah, I can tell. I can tell. Well, I mean, have you been up to the Liberty Golf Facility?
No,
they need to take next time you come in town. Make sure they get you up there.
Right. The ground?
Not
is
ideal
that
weather right now.
Is that pretty
within the last handful of years. Yeah, it's sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, you have to get now that you golf guy. You need to get
but
up
they
there.
have the cool course that I think it just finished this past
little
summer.
course, the heated bays and all that stuff.
It's like 18. It's like 18 holes, but it's within. I don't know. It's only like
links.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah, Matt. Anything else
last
you got?
thing for me, as you've gotten older, because again, we followed your journey all along. Like, how do you find that balance? Because I was watching the highlights from Wednesday, right? And it's like, man, everything's so tight, congested, and it's like, how do you strike that balance between like patience? And being aggressive? And has it taken you a little while to kind of figure out that balance?
Yeah, I would say, oddly enough, well, I don't know. Like I've always been more patient and like just smoother than some guys, and I feel like the aggression aspect, it's like a time and a place for me. It's not all the time, because I feel like there's a lot of times when you're aggressive, you can lose out on that because somebody gets back to you later in the race and they can move you and it doesn't work out. So I don't know. I feel like there's a feel in the car. I know if I need to be aggressive, if I have what I need in the car to get the lead and drive away. But it definitely is definitely dependent on a lot of circumstances. But yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm aggressive when I need to be. I think any of my competitors probably know that. They probably see a side of me that at times I'm not as aggressive, but it's kind of I guess calculated.
Yeah, that's good.
Being a part of Hendrick Motorsports, what do you think is the difference that sets, your team above the competition through the years?
I think it's the consistency. I mean, I don't think there's a lot of times we're not the fastest, and it's just because, it's hard to be fast every single time. But I just see a lot of preparation and just a consistency with the people we have. I feel like everyone works really well together, and it just depends on I think depends on a lot of circumstances of how it works out, but we're always showing up, we're competitive, and I think that's what wins out over time.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Can't wait, February 15th.
Yeah, if you want to check out this Flame Central show on your downtime or when you're taking some laps for the practice, when it's boring, not during the race, be sure to tune in. We'll send you some links.
Sounds great.
William Byron, thank you so much
Thanks
for
so
your
much.
time.
Best of luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Wow, it's just incredible how good these interviews are getting.
I thought it might be the most insightful questions we've ever had. In an interview
and it was
setting.
just so much
Give me
fun.
a
Like
break.
it was just
Give me a break.
What would you have? What?
Wait, I was feeding you guys questions. I fed you questions.
the Hendrick Motorsports one was from you, yeah?
Yeah, she used that.
Did you use that
And
one?
I'm like,
Did he really send that?
I had him send a few, like, this was like, because you're supposed to come on like a month ago.
yeah.
So we were going back and forth. And
And so, no, but the one that got me was the end of did you ask him about when he ran out of gas on the last lap of the.
We're trying to look forward. We're forward thinking.
Oh, that was unbelievable.
We're talking about Daytona coming up.
He was going to win. He was winning the cup.
Yeah.
It was right there in his hands.
We were trying to keep this more
Him
of
and
an
Hamlin
uplifting.
were coming down the street, and I oh no, I was watching that Sunday dinner with the family, right? And my family's like Byron haters, but
Oh, really?
Well, I take that back. My father-in-law and I we love Byron.
Yeah.
And then my son Ben is a Chase Elliott guy.
Okay.
He's turned Reese into a Chase Elliott guy, and then Uncle Paul.
Yeah.
Uncle Paul. Who's Uncle Paul? He's on Blaney or somebody like that.
Yeah.
Right?
What about Grandma?
And Nana,
Nana?
she's just
Nana's just in the kitchen
Nana's just
cooking.
bringing us
Yeah,
a nice
yeah.
warm apple pie. Nana's the best. She's got the hot bread
Yeah,
ready for
yeah.
you and everything. But and so there was like complete chaos at the end because he had Denny Hamlin and then and Byron are right there.
Yeah. Well, hey, he's going. We talked to him, try to be the first guy to ever win three straight Daytona 500. So
You know where he runs really good at?
what's that?
Martinsville.
Yeah.
That's a local track.
Yeah.
Close to here if you didn't know that.
That's where I got
Just
Stanley.
down the road. Really?
I got Stanley in Martinsville on Facebook
he likes that
Marketplace.
short. He likes that short. Byron is his story is incredible. Did you
Yeah.
get into the to the iRacing stuff that he did or anything?
Not
like
a lot.
that?
I know
No?
we've talked about that with him over the years, but yeah, it's pretty. We did talk about kind of his growth from.
Yeah.
You watch it, Joe. Just
I'll
watch
watch
it.
it.
Yeah,
I'll watch it.
Yeah, like,
And
what
then
are we
you
doing?
know what's
Why-
really
why-
cool?
You'll enjoy
What I got to do when I went to Martinsville, when I got to go down the pits with my shirt off.
Yeah,
I put my shirt back on.
Yeah, they make you do
Right
that.
after a while, they're like, "Hey, you need
Yeah,
to put your
that's
shirt
enough.
on." Right. And the guy who took the picture, a couple stories here. The guy who took the picture, his name is Jeff Murphy, right?
Yeah.
So Jeff was taking the picture. And I was flexing while I had the shirt off.
Yeah.
And I said, "God." I said, "You got a body like a Greek god, right?" And Jeff goes, "Yeah, maybe Zeus's grandfather."
There you go.
yeah,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty funny.
That's
But
really
anyways,
good, Joe.
I got the opportunity to talk to Byron's parents.
Oh yeah.
So I talked to
Shirt
them.
on.
I talked to
Shirt
them.
on for that conversation.
Shirt was on.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I put a shirt
Okay,
on.
good.
Yeah. But it was a good talk, and we talked about how he came up through the
Yeah.
iRacing and what got him into, and I think Martinsville is where his dad took him to his first race.
I mean, we were talking. The first thing we ever did with him was 2014. So think about that. That's
Just a baby.
yeah. He was just a very young in the sport,
wow.
like just starting. So he's been
That's so
connected to
cool.
Liberty for a long time.
His story's fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Really cool. Best
He's
of
gonna
luck
win
to
Daytona.
him. Yep. So before we dive into these football transfers, really rough start for Liberty softball. Dropped their first 5 straight. I'm pretty sure they were all ranked opponents.
Well,
number
all
4,
Power
Tennessee.
5, yeah, there
number
were
9,
three of them
Clemson,
ranked.
Missouri. Number 5, Oregon, and Notre Dame.
Yeah,
so really rough start, but it's early.
Right.
It's early.
Right. We've seen this before.
We've seen this before.
They've got time. They'll bounce back. That's where you want to be at the end of the year.
Yeah. So we're
Baseball
not,
starts,
we're not
by the way,
worried.
as well this Friday. So
That's wild.
seems-
Where did they start?
at the Citadel.
I mean,
Okay.
there's snow on the ground.
I know.
I
don't
know.
how
But
that's-
did you guys see? It's going to be 60 the next 2 days.
That's
So I am
right.
hoping that this
Melt
slush
away.
fest.
It has been.
I'm
It has
so
been
over it.
way too cold around.
I am
this
so
corner.
over it.
Absolutely.
I am over it. Okay.
You know what one of my bucket list things is to do?
What's that?
You know the song Talladega by Eric Church? Talladega.
Yeah.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to take an RV to Talladega just like Eric Church and his
Okay.
buddies did. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
that's going to be a fun
We
trip.
should all. I mean, we could do like a show on the road.
That would be a lot
We've
of
been
fun.
talking about this show on the road
That
and
would be
have
if
like
you did a
Flame Central
NASCAR.
podcast on the
Oh my! And took the RV. Matt's driving the RV.
We do like flame. It would be great. Remember, like ESPN sometimes in the summer will do those like shows across America.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yes.
Like we should. We don't quite have the following I think Sports Center has, but I think we should. That would be fun.
We could do something.
Yeah.
And it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We go to Talladega. We pull in the RV.
Yeah.
4-ball tires.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Just like
Yeah.
the song says.
Yeah.
I'm sure that that's going to happen. All right, 28 transfers have been added to the Flames 2026 roster. Here's how it breaks down by
Yeah, you wanna do
position.
it? All right.
5 defensive backs, 5 running backs, 4 offensive linemen, 3 defensive linemen, 3 tight ends, 3 receivers, 2 quarterbacks that Matt will discuss, 2 special teams, and then a linebacker. So when you guys look at this, I'm going to put up a graphic right here.
Oh, really?
Insert the graphic.
Oh, we're taking the next
that
level. Yeah.
that football shared. But this is, don't take my note. Look at all these notes. Matt printed this out for you
It's
right
not
here.
this one. Oh, it's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks,
so
buddy.
so while Joe
I
reviews
killed
who
at
was
least half
added
a tree.
added
on that,
to the team, Matt, where do you want to start with?
Well,
Just
I'll start maybe
understanding-
on the positionally,
Okay.
right? So we talked about how much Liberty lost in terms of defensive backs from a year ago. I love they got 5 DBs. A lot of those guys have a lot of experience. That's great. Running back room, again, everybody but Jalen Coleman basically bolted after last year or graduated. You get 5 running backs. Again, a lot of experience there and potential. I think if there's a couple of spots where you're like, okay, maybe could have tried to add a little bit more there, or at least you'd want to. Only the 3 D linemen, and all of them coming from a lower level of football, that might be a little bit of a concern there, just because you felt like the D line wasn't great a year ago as it is. So that might be a little concern. And then only 3 receivers. You lost a ton at the receiver position as
Right.
well. Basically, Jamari Person is like the one guy back that you feel like you kind of trust there. You only add 3, although, I mean, one of them was, I think, a freshman All-American at Charleston Southern last year, Rashawn Cunningham. You like what you see there. But, again, maybe just not as many guys as you would have hoped at that position. So that's kind of what stands out to me. I like the O-line, 4 O-line, give Big Dirks,
Right.
Coach Dirks some guys. Again, those are some guys that have played some ball. a bunch of snaps at NC State, guys that have actually coming from a higher level that have actually played in games as well.
Yes.
Last year we had a couple of guys who were like, hey, they're from a Power 4, but maybe they were like walk-on, never really played. It's like, okay, that's cool. You have a Big Ten team attached to you, but you haven't been on the field much. I do think that's a little bit different with this group, and we'll give Liberty a little bit more options on that offensive line going into this, and more depth. Like, that's been an issue the last couple of years. I feel like you're like one injury away on the O-line from being like, oh, man, what are we going to do?
Right.
So that's kind of the way I look at it overall. That's a lot of guys, 28.
That's a lot of guys. And I mean, I have a feeling that this is going to be the way it is each and every year. So we got to get used to it. Can you remind me, does the transfer portal open again still at the end of spring?
No, that's the one window.
That's the one window is set, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was still like.
So this should be the team. Like,
this is the
it,
team.
which coaches want. They want to know. Going into spring ball, these
That's
are
how it
the
should
guys
be.
I have.
Right. So, okay, Joe, what's your response and reaction to these 28 guys?
I'm with, when you're always going to be able to get out and find receivers. You'll find running backs, right? You're going to see guys that we don't know their names about, right? The guys that are hard to find is, well, one, obviously the elephant in the room is finding the quarterback, right? Mm-hmm. But I think that Alex Birchmeyer, as I say his name, the O lineman from Penn State, right? I think, when you start bringing in guys that have played at high level programs, and then it was Jude Foster, is that his name?
The NC State guy.
Yeah. And so you look at those two guys. The question. Well, Jude Foster came from Ole Miss. He came from Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And so when you look at guys that and then Birchmeyer was a guard, right? But the question that you've got to get answered is, he has the size to be able to move him to tackle. But the question is, you got to shore up that left tackle position, right? Make sure that is the strength. So I'm really excited about the O linemen that they brought in and guys that have played at a high level, because even if, let's say, you weren't a starter or whatever, you're still practicing every day against some of the best talent in the country when you're at Penn State and you're at an Ole Miss, NC State, wherever it may be. And so, you get guys like that you can bring in. I think those kind of guys are more of a plug and play type of players that you can bring in and do well. And so you shore up the O-line, and then you get the quarterback position right. You're going to find the running backs. You're going to find the receivers that are coming in. And on the offensive side of the ball, I think if you get the O-line, I think it's going to be good. You get the quarterback position right, you can have a big turnaround this year.
And
big turnaround.
If you have 5 guys in that running back room, I know that they're probably not going to play. You're just running the heck out of the ball, right? If that's what was that 2 years ago when there weren't that many receivers, and I know that that's not what you ideally
I think
want,
that is maybe the takeaway, or one of them, especially early on, is where you start seeing these names reported and stuff. Was it's like, oh, okay, so we're just gonna try to run it down everybody's throat. You know what I mean? And that was kind of as you said a couple of years ago. It was like, run it, and then boom, over the top.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
That was the Cooley
right.
year.
You don't have to be as consistent on a play-to-play basis in the passing game if you're able to run it as effectively as I think they're hoping to, and kind of get back to what their bread and butter was, and what they did when they had the most success here.
And what Jamie has always said is that obviously the more you see his offense, the more defense has time to figure things out, is that they became more of a, you're going to have to show the patience to run the ball down the field in order to beat us, right? Mm-hmm. And I think what happens is if you can go out and get a high-level quarterback, high-level receivers, and you can protect them, then even though teams are trying to do that, there's some times where it's like, you know what, we're going to let our guys go make plays. And I think you're going to start to see some of those guys come in where it's like, especially at the quarterback position. When you have a quarterback that can press it downfield consistently, then you have the opportunity to just let your guys go make plays. The one guy that I just hope just shines to the top, just for the simple fact that we get to talk about him on the Flame Central podcast, the name's D-Icy.
D-Icy Hopkins,
D-Icy
defensive
Hopkins.
back. Yeah.
I mean, D-Icy Hopkins.
Yeah.
I
know, that's a good name.
We
can do a lot with that.
I mean, D-Icy.
Yeah.
I mean, just think if he gets 5 or 6 picks next year.
Yeah. So when you look at that quarterback position, you have a West Virginia transfer and you have a Wake Forest transfer. You still have Ethan Vasco in that quarterback room, as well as Ethan Houck. What's your takeaway?
Okay.
With,
so here's kind of my bio
center?
blast on these two quarterbacks. So
Jalen Henderson,
redshirt senior. His first 2 years at Fresno State, didn't play much. 2 years at Texas A&M, and then last year at West Virginia. This guy is a big-time athlete, really, really talented runner. At West Virginia last year, they went through a bunch of different quarterbacks. He was not the primary guy. He only threw it 18 times for 50 yards. He ran it 29 times for 146 yards in the score. That's primarily how they used him. At A&M in 2023, though, is when he had his most success. He threw in a game at LSU for 294 and 2 TDs. He did some good things that season for them, but then when Mike Elko came in and took the job there, he kind of fell out of the mix, didn't really play, and I guess it would have been 24, and that's when he looked to move. He's a lefty. Kind of a little bit of a weird throwing motion, but like big time athlete. And I think he, of these two quarterbacks, is by far the more accomplished runner.
Okay.
So you kind of have different looks here. You have Henderson, really good runner. Not that he's, bad throwing the football, but like that's where his greatest strength lies. And then the other quarterback, Deshaun Purdy. He's a junior. Spent his first year at Charlotte, was the starter there, and played pretty well as a freshman. Last year went to Wake Forest. Ended up starting 2 games for Wake Forest against Oregon State, SMU. Threw for 270 and 4 scores against Oregon State this past year. More of a pure passer. Good touch on the deep ball. Doesn't run it a lot, or has not run in his career, which when he was the first one to commit to Liberty was a little bit like, whoa, that's kind of odd for a Chadwell quarterback. He likes those guys that run around. So that was a little bit of a surprise, more of a pure passer. The one thing on him that's interesting, so he's played 2 seasons. In each season, he has completed exactly 50% of his passes. Exactly, both seasons. So the completion percentage, not exactly where you want it to be necessarily, but you hope you can get him to a point where he finds success here on a more consistent basis. But throws a great deep ball, and that's one of the things you read about him. And we think back again you hate to always keep dredging up the Fiesta Bowl year, but like how many times again when you get teams sucking in on the run was that deep ball, a deep shot down the field? We haven't really seen that really effectively since that season. So that is a strength that he possesses.
When you hear those numbers that matter, and when you look at these 4 guys, do you take away that this is anyone's position to take?
Yeah, it's interesting.
It looks like
keep
there's
in mind
going to be
Vasco
a
is
lot,
out for the spring. Last we heard, he will not be
playing in the spring. But it looks like there's going to be a lot of competition in this room for this to be up for grabs.
I think a big part of it is like, what direction do you want to go from your style of quarterback? So what Matt's talking about there, when you look at Purdy, he is more of a true passing quarterback, and he's not going to run as much. Vasco is really a running, trying to run you over type of quarterback, and he can throw it. But so it's like, what style that do you decide that you want to go with? And I think that's going to be a big part as they go through spring ball, is what Jamie's always going to look at and say, okay, who gives us the best opportunity to win? And to me, I've got a feeling that if you have a true guy that can really throw the football, and with the way their running game has changed and evolved, I think that my guess is, this is 100% just a guess, that if a guy like Purdy can really do well sitting in the pocket and throwing the football, and you can protect, the problem was protection, and you can protect better, I think that would be the direction that they would go. But I mean, when you look at Purdy, like right there, 14 of 26 against SMU for 183 yards. I mean, SMU had a good defense. So I mean, like, obviously this dude's got some talent. So, but the thing is, like, until they get on campus here and you go through spring ball with them, the only question mark is like that whole thing. It's like sometimes we're gonna get 2 drop back guys and we're gonna let them go compete for the job, right? Well, now you got one guy who's more of a drop back guy. Then you've got, Vasco's coming back in the fall, so we know what he's capable of. And then you got another guy who's like, well, he doesn't really throw it great, but boy, he sure can run it.
So
you got to figure out, like, it's not 2 drop guys or 2 runners competing for the position. It's not apples to apples. Like, so then you start thinking like, okay, well, you just got to make a decision on what direction.
Well, does that mean? And I know that this is pure speculation. We got to see what they do in spring ball and through fall camp. But do you think that they could utilize both guys?
Yeah,
like in a season and have success.
I'm not a big two quarterback system guy unless it tells me that you're not very good at quarterback.
Yeah, right.
If
you got 2,
you don't have any.
What team did that a couple years ago though? Was it FIU that they had success doing it?
I mean, you can have some success. It does cause defenses to have to prepare a lot more for 2 different styles. But I think that's that's.
Here's the question I have for you. So like, let's say you have Jalen Henderson, who is an electric runner.
Yeah.
And not that he can't throw, but he's had success, but I think that's his bigger strength. Like, is that harder to grade or judge in a spring ball type setting than it is a guy that's just more of a pure passer?
Yeah.
That's
Because
a
it's
really
like
good question.
you're not hitting quarterback, all those type of things. Like, yeah, maybe he is really electric running the football, making people miss, but you're not maybe getting to utilize or show that as much in a spring ball type setting as you can. I can just sit here and spin it.
Yeah, most of the guys who are like runner, more flashy, that type of style, they're more gamers, right? It's much more difficult to replicate that in practice, and then all of a sudden they get in a game and you're like, whoa, dude, that dude just broke 4, because the quarterbacks don't get tackled, right? So that dude just broke 4 tackles and picked up 25 yards. Yeah. So I think that's a little bit more difficult. I think what this ultimately is going to come down to is, what's the issue been? The issue's been protecting the quarterback, right? So like if you can't protect the quarterback, then you can't have a drop back passer.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's just the bottom line. So if you go into spring ball and you're like, we got this O-lineman from Penn State, we got one from Ole Miss, we got a group of O-line. All of a sudden you look at the O-line, you come out of spring ball, and you're like, man, we're picking up blitzes, we're protecting the edges, nobody's getting thin on us underneath and getting to the quarterback, and you feel confident there. Then you go, all right, now we have the opportunity to press the ball downfield. Right. A lot of times you never have the opportunity to press the ball downfield because there's a crazy thing. It takes time to get downfield in order to press it downfield. And so it's good. I think the O-line will answer the question on what direction that you decide to go with the quarterback. Because if you can't protect, then you better have somebody who can get out of trouble and run around with it. Yeah.
Well,
and that's not a good place to be.
Yeah, right.
You heard it here first, Billy Dirk. Get to work.
Billy Dirk's getting to work.
Now,
I
have no doubt. Yeah. But you have to have.
But it goes back to what you said, though, too, Beth. Sorry, Emily. It goes back to what you said, too. It's like, when you're or maybe you said it, when you're one injury away on the O-line, we're like, oh my gosh, we have a massive drop-off. You have to build depth there. Yeah. Like, it always comes back to this: depth on the D-line, depth on the O-line. I know it's not flashy, I know it's not fun, but it's what wins football games. Mm-hmm. And so you can see what they're clearly trying to do is build some depth there.
We saw that last night in the Super Bowl with the Seahawks.
Boy, that's the truth.
Well, it'll also depend on how quickly these guys can grasp the offense. Sure. It's not easy to
That's
learn.
A good point, because that's another part of it. Like,
and you don't have Willie Korn developing you, so it's a new look at your quarterback's coach.
Yeah, you get into a world with a lot of these transfers that come in, and this is, I think, where it's like what we talked about with Richie. Yeah. It's like when you're a pack line defense and you got he's clearly said it takes a long time to learn the intricacies of a pack line defense, right? Yep. And so this guy may transfer in, but it's going to take him a while to get there. So what did he have to do? He's like, well, you got to give and take. I had to water it down a little bit and not expect as much. So I think in this Jamie Chadwell style offense, that I think you're going to see him make some adjustments this year to say, like, hey, we can bring these transfers in and give them a better opportunity to succeed without going into the total in-depth of how they truly run their offense, which can take time and be complicated.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. We'll have all the latest with the spring camp coverage on the Flame Central podcast.
When's spring starting again?
I think in March.
Yeah, it's late. So it's going to be late. So that's good. Yeah, give them a little time, too, to kind of get, figure out who they have and what they're about. And the other thing is, like, Jalen Henderson, this is 4th team. Sean 3rd team. Yeah. So you don't know what that means, but, like, they've had to go through this learning a new system before. Yeah. In some cases more than once. And so you would hope that would help you be able to pick up a little bit more. Or maybe you can take bits and pieces from past systems you've been in to kind of help that process as well.
Wow. Sounds like a lot. But it'll be exciting to see, like I said, how it all plays out in March for spring ball. And I'm just happy it'll be a little warmer. Maybe this ice will be off the ground. Hey, we have the mailbag to get to, and then that'll be all for this week's show. Remember, you can be a part of the mailbag, flamecentral@liberty.edu.
Mailbag!
All right, let's start with this one from Craig. He actually sent this in back in January, but we couldn't talk about the football transfers yet officially.
That's right.
So we had to kind of hold it. His concern is,
come on, Craig.
He's like, struggled stopping the run at times last year. Doesn't know if we've got enough beef in the middle of that defensive line. And do you think they've done enough? Like, when you look at who they brought in on the D-line, you got John Custis from Emory Henry. He's 6'3", 285. Henry Hicks from Elizabeth City State. He's 6'2", 285. And then Lorenzo Payne, he's more of an edge rusher, 6'1", 245 from West Florida. So, again, all guys from lower levels. A couple guys at 285 there. I guess, Joe, just thinking back even to last year, like, is that at all a concern just in terms – and we talked with Coach Quinn, what was it, last week? Finding those guys on the D-line that can be disruptive or have that kind of size, that's not easy. Those guys are making the big bucks. I guess any concern you think about just, like, finding enough depth and just size?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a concern, right? But when you go back and if you want to get into the analytics, you go back and look at Liberty from the defensive side. You got to get off the field on third down.
Yeah.
And I think that was that if you're going to get a hat and say I'm going to pull one thing out and I'm going to guarantee this, it's they put themselves in third down positions, which means they've stopped the run. They not perfectly, but they had a hard time getting off the field on third down.
Yeah.
So I don't worry as much as the ability to stop the run. I worry more about that. It's like, do you got the edge rushers? Do you got the guys on third and short that can stop a 2 or 3 yard gain in order to get off the field on third down? If you give me one area, like here it is, and to improve on this next season where I would focus in on if I was a defense coordinator, it would be like, all right, guys, let's put ourselves in a position to get to third down.
Yeah.
So let's have a lot of third downs, and then let's win on third down.
Yeah.
I think that's the key. So you can't really answer this question because it's like, I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Like there's some guys there.
So
We got some guys there,
Yeah.
right? There's some guys there, Craig, but
you got to have McGee and Quinn to be able to develop these younger guys that don't have the experience at this level. And I think that
there's some younger
we feel
guys
pretty
too.
confident that they can.
Yeah.
But it's just
there's some depth there. There's some depth. It's just a matter of like, can you get these guys to perform
rise to the
at
occasion.
to perform at level? It's a great unknown.
Yeah.
It's like trying to say right now that we're going to light it up at quarterback next year.
Right.
Like we don't know.
One thing though, like, and Joe has talked about this for years. It comes from the Silver Fox, your father, I know. And we saw it last
night big time
in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The best thing you can do, I feel like, or the most important thing from your entire team, is if you can pressure with 4.
That's it.
And you don't have to bring extra guys. And that'll be, and Coach Quinn talked about that as well. Like, if you can do that, you're in a great spot. If you got to keep bringing extra guys, sooner or later, somebody's going to catch you.
It always cracks me up when preseason comes around and these defensive coordinators or the fans especially are like, we're going to blitz you. It's like Willie from Alabama, the guy Willie, you see him on Instagram all the time, Blitz, Bama, Blitz, that guy, right? He's like, blitz. Yeah, okay, you keep blitzing like, oh, this guy's going to be a big blitz guy. We're going to hit quarterbacks in the mouth. Well, when you blitz a lot, you also can give up 70 and 80 yard touchdown passes. And all of a sudden that doesn't look so good. So it's just like you said, if the best defenses who win championships are the defense who can rush 4, drop 7, play different, confuse the quarterback because it gives you so many different options to play, so many different coverages. Yeah. When you start bringing people, you give the quarterback the one thing I always said: when you want to blitz a bunch, here's what you do for a quarterback: you give him clarity, right? He knows. He just looks at the field and he goes, okay, here they come. I like that matchup right there. Yeah. It's not like I got to read to here to here to here. It's like, I like that one right there. I like Demario Douglas on a speed post right now. I'm going to throw that when you blitz. So, that makes a big difference.
Yeah. All right, next, this is from Elton. He said, glad Emily is back, right?
Thank
We're
you.
glad back.
We're glad she's back too. So.
He's like, but he's wondering about. But
the show was way better with you gone.
He said, I was wondering about Annie. What does she do when Emily is back in her normal spot? So I think he's talking more about the TV show.
The way Emily treats Annie is awful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
It's like
you
a
guys
second-rate
are
citizen kind of thing.
Annie.
Yeah.
I heard it was.
You've heard her yelling at her in the hallway?
Berating.
Yes, it was.
Annie, get over there.
Yeah.
Annie, we love you.
Annie,
you are special.
This is my show.
Yeah.
Now, that is so.
There was a lot of who do you think
I
you
feel
are?
bad for Annie.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Annie.
why don't you feel bad for me? Coach
Annie.
McKay is like, Annie, you ask really good questions. I usually have to do this halftime interview, and the questions are awful. That was a really good question. And I'm sitting there watching. Oh.
No, what is Annie?
No one feels bad for me. Annie's great.
She's actually working with the Olympics right now.
Is she?
She does stuff. I forget where it's in the U.S. She goes to like wherever the broadcast center is and helps with like I think doing research and things like that. So that's where she is right now. But she still stays busy doing sideline for women, other sports and things, and so she'll be around. Don't worry about Annie. Don't worry about Annie. She'll be fine.
I'm not mean to Annie. Don't spread that.
Hey, don't worry, guys. Annie will be back.
Yeah, she'll be back. Yeah, she'll be back.
I'm one and done.
Chuck.
We love you, Emily.
Chuck wants
That's
to
my
know.
boy Chuck.
And I guess we kind of just talked about this. He just asked, like, what you heard from Coach Quinn, does it make you feel like some of the things that were an issue defensively last year he is going to address or wanting to address? Like, I guess maybe if you can think back on that, what stood out to you most about that conversation with him?
Yeah, I think Coach Quinn is, the vibe that I got from him is that he has a really good understanding of what he's dealing with, right? Especially in the transfer portal world. And I think the vibe I get from him is that he's a little bit ahead of the curve, like, because he realizes that we're going to have a lot of different new faces each year. And so what you want to do is you want to hire coaches who are good on the field in terms of a teaching aspect.
Yes.
Right? And so you can get coaches who can talk the right game, they can recruit real well, they can do all those things, but when you get on the field, sometimes they just rely on talent alone. But when you got to be talented, obviously, but when the vibe I get from Coach Quinn is that he's a really good teacher. Yeah. And I think he's not going to overcomplicate it. He's going to keep it simple, and he's going to teach the fundamentals really well. And so I think that he's going to do a really good job with that balance between how much do we need to do to be successful from a scheme standpoint, and then what do we just need to learn how to teach these guys, because there's so many new faces all the time. Yeah. So I did get a good, and when you look at his resumes and experience and whatnot.
Brent Pry had great things to say
and
about
Brent
him.
Pry, I mean, like these are solid. These dudes they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
They know what they want to do, and they do it with clarity. And I think that's a big part of it.
I like his approach, the KISS approach. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
That's my kind of.
She calls Annie sometimes. Which I thought was too much.
Oh my gosh.
No, I think here's what I say, and when it comes especially this portal era, I think the most important characteristics for hiring a coach are you very organized?
Yeah.
Because you're getting guys in with a short amount of time to get them on the same page, right? So you have to be very organized in your approach.
Efficiency.
Yes, being efficient.
Yeah.
And then communication and the teaching aspect.
Yeah.
You've heard coaches say before, doesn't matter what I know if I can't get you to know it too.
That's right.
Right? So can you communicate it well, and can you teach it, same thing, efficiently again, and be organized in that? And I mean, think about like Signetti at Indiana, right? When you see him, are you like, oh my gosh, that personality, I'm just so drawn to like,
right?
No, not necessarily. Like, he's not that kind of guy, but he is ultra organized and a great teacher and knows exactly what the plan is.
Did you see that their practices are only like an hour, and then all the coaches can like leave and go home? Like, that efficiency. It's like we're not just like filling time and wasting time. We're very efficient, and we get done what needs to be done, and we go home.
Like, I heard a story about him that they said it was in like August or September. He brought a list into his AD of, here's the top 75 guys that we think could potentially go in the transfer portal after this season that fit exactly what we want and what we want to do. Like, that's before the season had even completed.
So keep
and
an eye
he's
on him.
Already that detailed and organized on like how we continue to, like, those kind of guys are what thrive, I think, in this era, because you have a short window to work with these guys and all that goes into that. So yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
All right, quickly, a couple more. Or maybe it's just one more. Let's see.
Whoa.
Doug, not our Doug.
Not our Doug.
Maybe you can answer this one. I don't know what he's talking about. He's saying during third down football games, instead of like the purge siren, he wants to hear Taylor Swift singing "Trouble, Trouble, Trouble." I don't even know what that song is. Do you know that song? You're our Swiftie. Do you know that one?
That is so confusing to me. Why you would ask me?
I don't know.
I'm a Swiftie?
Don't you love? I thought you loved Taylor Swift.
That might have been Annie.
Maybe that was Annie.
I couldn't name one of her songs. I have no idea what Trouble, Trouble,
I
Trouble
love
is.
Taylor Swift.
You got me confused with Joe. Joe is the Swiftie.
My daughter's a big Swiftie.
Yeah, because she does the Bottom Line. Is that one of her songs? Or, I don't know.
Doug also said he has a
idea.
case of Pop Douglas soda arriving this week, and he said he might have a few bottles he could send our way.
Oh,
Really?
we love them on the
We'd
set.
love to put those on the set.
Love 'em on
thank
the
you,
set.
Doug. And then lastly, actually that's it. All right.
That's it?
That's it?
That's it. That's it.
All right, well, that was a fully loaded Flame Central
was a big
podcast
mailbag.
presented by OrthoVirginia. OrthoVirginia
there's a lot of
is
exciting
a proud
things.
partner of Liberty University
They're
Athletics.
proud. They're proud. They're a
Yeah,
partner. I saw their commercial on the, was it Super Bowl maybe?
really?
They do the Redskins. They had all
wow.
and the Liberty logo was right there. in the middle.
Commanders.
Nice.
Oh, Commanders.
We'll
Sorry.
have to beat that out.
All right, anything else, guys?
Oh yeah, there was something else that I forgot.
Okay.
Joe had his big basketball broadcast
Oh yeah, it was good.
moment over the weekend.
Yeah, had a good basketball broadcast. Really enjoyed it. And Huntington Foresters got the win.
Yeah.
So very excited about that.
Super
I know
excited
what I
for-
was. Yeah. Okay, so listen to this. Love this.
Okay.
Right. So the game's over, and after the game's over, Jared, my son, head coach, comes over and he does an interview on the post-game interview. Right. So the guy asks him a question. I asked Jared a question about the win. You know what he responds with?
What's that?
He responds with, and I'm sure tonight I'll be buying dinner even after we get the win, right? That's what he says. That's what he says on the broadcast.
Yeah.
To his dad.
To his dad. He's like, yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to be buying dinner after we get the big win today. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You can buy dinner. The check comes, buddy. I mean, alligator arms.
Yeah.
You should have seen him. He tucked those things.
Some
It
things
was
never
like the
change.
check hit the door.
Yeah.
The check hit the table right there, and all you saw was his eyes.
Yeah.
Turn around like this. And I sat there and I held it for a while.
Yeah.
I gotta see where we're gonna go.
Yeah.
There. Zero chance he was
Yeah.
paying that bell.
Oh, well, you're such a good.
But he's good. They're doing great. They're 18-6 right now, and bunch of so exciting.
Everything he knows, he learned from his dad.
How critical were you on the broadcast? Like, that's what I want to know. Were you like, man, I really wouldn't have taken the time?
No, I'm Professor Positivity.
I know. That's
I stay positive,
That's
and
Positive Polly.
they played really well. They have a kid. My best line of the broadcast was they had a kid named his name's Landon Beagle.
The Beagle has landed. You
Yeah,
used that
I
last
used
week
it.
on the show. You used it.
Did I?
Yeah, here. You did.
Yeah, well, I used it in the broadcast.
Okay.
Make it official.
He's testing out all these
Oh
lines
my
here on
gosh.
Last First.
Yeah, I was testing out for that.
Oh my gosh.
There's
Well,
a lot
thanks.
going on at Liberty right now.
There's a
I mean,
lot.
there is a lot.
Picking up.
I mean, it's getting
Yeah.
ready. It's getting ready to be full tilt ahead right now.
Yeah, it's exciting stuff. Hey, thanks so much for listening or watching to the Flame Central podcast
It's the
presented by
Flames.
OrthoVirginia. We have some good stuff coming your way on
Oh,
Flame
it's in
Central.
Central
Tell you about
Virginia.
that?
Yeah.
This week, a piece with Josh Smith on why he ended up transferring to Liberty. So solid piece there. Cool piece coming up on J.J. Harper. He has a really
Ooh.
cool story.
J.J. Harper, during my interview with him,
Yeah.
was an amazing story. I was crying through the whole thing. I was crying through
cried
my
a lot.
question
Not atypical, by
to
the
Coach
way.
McKay. And Coach McKay, I was sobbing so much that he literally took the mic off. He's like, I'm done. I can't just sit here and watch you cry. But J.J. Harper gave a shout out to Diego Pavia because the reason J.J. Harper has this extra year is because of the Diego Pavia Junior College. You can
Are you
play in
serious?
D1. So I was
all
like,
goes back to Diego. Everything goes
all-
back.
Hey,
to
you want to give you a
Diego.
little side note on that?
What's that?
Diego Pavia, like obviously he's going to try to chase his NFL
Yeah.
dream, but guess who has the rights to Diego Pavia?
Winnipeg?
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers of CFL. My brother Jimmy, assistant GM.
Yes.
So he's
Yes.
just what a
Go get Diego.
I mean, Pavia's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I told Jimmy the story that Emily. Remember we were calling the first New Mexico
Yeah.
State game, and
We
Emily.
basically
and Emily
introduced
said,
him to the world.
he was, I need
Yes,
to find
Emily
that
said
clip.
you got to find. 'cause
He's-
I told Jimmy about that. He was dying.
He was signing autographs
I,
during the
he's
game.
signing
I should
autographs
find
during the
that
game.
because I bet it would go.
We're at
viral
a
with
commercial
him.
break, and all of a sudden here Emily going, "Hey guys,
He's
Diego
signing
Pavia
off.
is signing autographs during the game."
During the game.
It's to the Liberty fan. In the Liberty.
He actually
fan
signed a
zone.
ball and gave it to Coach Freeze. Hey, thanks again
Ooh.
for.
Oh, that's a dagger to end it.
I love Coach Freeze. He knows that. Hey, thanks again for watching. Great stuff on Flame Central coming your way, so be sure to check that out on Thursday. For Joe and Matt, I'm Emily. We'll see you next week.